This mayor race is really heating up. Who you guys voting for? Haven't decided? Same, haven't really been following it. Same. Same? Same. I'm not MAGA or anything. But the city's kind of gone to shit though, right? Oh yeah. Jessica stepped on a needle at the playground the other day. I'm not MAGA or anything though. I'm not MAGA or anything, but have you been downtown lately? Looks like an episode of The Walking Dead. Not that I'm MAGA or anything, though. Spencer Pratt seems like he has some good ideas. Not that I'm MAGA or anything. He does seem really angry all the time, though. Well, they did burn his house down. Also, apparently he's staying at the Bel Air Hotel, not the trailer on his property. Well, yeah. They burned his house down. Okay, we're all adults here. How about on 3, we just say who we're voting for? 1, 2, 3. Spencer Pratt. Yeah. Spencer Pratt. Spencer Pratt. Can you imagine if our wives knew?
We're all voting for Spencer Pratt, right? Of course. Obviously. I wish I could vote, like, yesterday.
What up, America? It's Andrew Jackson, that guy you roll up to hit some powder. I founded the Democrat Party and chose the jackass as our mascot. Now, as you can probably tell, times have changed a bit from the party back in my day, and present-day Democrats will come to hate me, but that's your problem. Jackson started the Democrat Party to appeal to the common man. Democrats today sometimes give him credit for that, but only after calling him an evil white bigot. Needless to say, the party started off pretty sketchy by today's standards. We were by far the pro-slavery party all the way through the Civil War. After the war, we cleaned up our act and supported the North's Reconstruction efforts. Totally kidding, we doubled down on racism and became the party of the Klan. But seriously, we didn't have much of a platform after the war, except Jim Crow, but that was until our boy came in hot on his rollerblades. Then came the Depression. People lost trust in markets, so I wheeled in to drastically expand communism across the country, and Democrats been hooked ever since. Up until this point, blacks had always voted Republican, as they were the party that freed the slaves. But after FDR's New Deal, blacks swung 75% Democrat. This was a complete realignment, not because of civil rights, but because of economics. All while the Democrats were still the party of the Klan, and their stronghold was the South. We pushed segregation throughout the South and filibustered the 1964 Civil Rights Act for 75 days. It wasn't until Republicans stepped up and found even more votes to pass the bill. So ask yourself, how are Democrats seen as the party of the civil rights? Well, it's because
Democrats are very persuasive. But again, it ultimately boils down to economic incentives. Once Democrats realize the power of government spending and handouts, you can appeal to any voter group and lock them in.
1, 2, 3.
Gays for Palestine.
Good luck with that. So anyway, to sum it all up, my party has changed a shit ton, but it's not because of the mythical party switch. Democrats controlled the South all the way through the 1990s. But they did adopt new policies like massive social spending and welfare programs that allowed them to appeal to more diverse voting groups.
Rennie Good was a gifted soul, a writer and a poet and a mother, wow. She tried to hit an agent with her car, oh no! Pop, motherfucker, now she's gone! Yeah, yeah, yeah! Being a fucking liberal is a mental disease. Blue-haired and fuckables with the septum ring. You are not a hero, you're a fucking disease! You fuck around and find out it's what it is! Jeffrey Pretty was a Jewish homo. Started talking shit to protect a chomo. He was getting nicked when he pulled a gun. Bam, motherfucker, now you're gone! Yeah, yeah, yeah! Being a fucking liberal is a mental disease. Blue-haired and fuckables with a septum ring. You are not a hero, you're a fucking disease! Fuck around and find out what that is!
Hey guys, welcome to the program. And look, let me point something out. Ivan, who's in the standby studio, this may affect you as well. Whatever it is, my freaking dashboard has locked up again. So you're going to see me pop in and out for a momento because we got to reset our dashboard. Ivan, if it boots you for any reason, brother, please log back in. It may not, but I'm going to run this. Let me just reset.
This crazy world is telling you your sons can be daughters and your daughters can be your sons. When will the madness stop? Never. So you have to decide, will you comply or defy? They tell us all, you will own nothing, eat bugs, and be happy. Is this why America's largest food processing plants and food supply plants keep burning down? Do you really think this is a coincidence? Of course not. The system is
Facebook already went to blocking, so we'll see. That kind of what happens when the system out there, the stuff goes nuts. Anyway, here's what we're going to do. When we're going to talk the crap tonight, we're going to actually shoot the crap. We're going to shoot the crap with Ivan Raiklan. Culture, Race, and American Politics. I did this because I called out Ivan on something that I go, wait a minute, this does not jive with me. And I've known Ivan for a very long time and spent time with him as well, right? Great father, great guy, personable guy. But sometimes we have to have these discussions out in the open. I titled it, as you know, because my issue is some specific videos around a specific place in Kentucky. And by the way, everybody's an adult in the room here. It is totally okay to have different opinions. Nobody has to be able to think the same thing, do the same thing, or drink the same Kool-Aid. I'm not down for that. And it is totally fine for adults to get together and to discuss their differences. In fact, if more people did it, we'd be a hell of a lot better off. We don't need to be in a vacuum. So we got to be able to express everything and every ideas, right? Now, with that said, share the program. Okay, share the program right now because we're going to dive into it. And I'm going to tell you, it's just something that pissed me off. Just calling it like it is. I see a lot of things that kind of piss me off. I normally really don't say things. I've been calling out the certain things for a while. It's the Jews and it's the Zionists. And of course, people get, and I know this, sensitive over the most stupidest shit. Ivan's just like me, first generation American, right? So we have parents that came to this country because they wanted to come to this country to be set free. So maybe those of us that are first generationers are a little more sensitive on this stuff. But I got to tell you, I am fed up with it's the Jews and the Zionists. And most people don't even know what those definition of a Zionist is or don't really know the real numbers or facts. And by the way, I give nobody a pass on being ignorant on a topic. And one of the ways we stop ignorance is just having open discussions. The other part of it is so many people are getting their news from podcasters and influencers, which is stupid. We just swapped mainstream media for another media, and we believe everything hands down. So that's what we're going to be talking about. I expect the trolls, they're probably going to come out because I'm a Jew. By the way, you like me as a rabbi? There you go. See, there's time. That's why I don't wear my round glasses. You know that, guys. I mean, you look at it there, you can truly see the rabbi in me. But I'm telling you, when I put on my fucking round glasses and my wild ass hair, then you really see the Jew in me. And that's just why I stay away from my round glasses, only wear them at home. Because I'm the fucking poster child for an old Jewish dude, right? So that's me as a rabbi. Anyway, we're going to have a discussion. I expect it to be lively. I expect it to be fun. And I expect everybody to be polite. We're here to share and to learn together. So with that, let's get started with the program. I'm going to give you a 3-minute sprint to get to the potty and to get your buddies to the party. Be back right after these messages.
Rennie Good was a gifted soul, a writer and a poet and a mother, wow. She tried to hit an agent with her car, oh no! Pop, motherfucker, now she's gone! Yeah! Being a fucking liberal is a mental disease. Blue-haired and fuckables with the septum ring. You are not a hero, you're a fucking disease! You fuck around and find out it's what it is! Jeffrey Pretty was a Jewish homo. Started talking shit to protect a chomo. He was getting nicked when he pulled a gun. Bam, motherfucker, now you're gone! Being a fucking liberal is a mental disease. Blue-haired and fuckables with the septum ring. You are not a hero, you're a fucking disease. Fuck around and find out what that is.
Warning. The following program has been rated Dilligaff and is intended for open-minded audiences. If the truth offends you, or if you are allergic to focused intensity, intellectual athleticism, or the occasional F-bomb or even irreverent humor, please switch off now. If your delicate sensibilities need to be worried about or addressed, might we recommend the Underwater Basket Weaving channel to you. Otherwise, sit back, enjoy the wisdom, insight, and wicked sense of humor.
Cut the crap. How many times a day do you want to say that to politicians, the elite, the loony liberals, the fake news media, and the gender-confused, emotional socialist snowflake crowd? Cut the crap is your secret weapon for fighting for our freedoms and our great republic. It all begins with a massive mental enema, freeing you from the toxic news and politically correct views, which constipate your consciousness with stinking thinking. Your host, Jovan Hutton Pulitzer. He's known for calling out politicians and telling them to cut the crap. You've seen him on virtually every television network and listened to him on Coast to Coast Radio. And now he's here to help you learn to fight for America. Culture, race, and American politics. They all have one thing in common. They all need to cut the crap. Now, here's your host, Jovan Hutton Pulitzer.
Okay, guys, welcome to the program. And by the way, 2 disclosures as we talk about the Jews and the Zionists tonight. I got to let you know I have allergies. And I can't get my fingers up far enough, up my freaking nose to get to the back of my eyeballs where it itches. And I hate it. And I don't know what it is going across the country, but it's from West Coast to East Coast, in the mountains and the valleys, everywhere else it is. Also, I want to let you know I'm a little tired. You know how many hours I broadcast a day. You know, I'm always writing books, always publishing. But I have to tell you, as a Jew, this running the fucking world has me worn the fuck out. Talk with my friend Mel K, Roseanne, all of us. We are pushed to our limits, deciding everything for every 8 billion person in the world as a Jew. That's why I want to address this. Anyway, we're going to have Ivan on. And Ivan, I see you've got your spectacles on. Thanks for joining me. I greatly appreciate it.
I had to follow your lead.
I appreciate it. Folks, one thing people don't know about Ivan is a great dad. And at most events and stuff around, he's got his son in tow. They're watching, they're learning. That's what a parent should do. So from that standpoint, great thing. And next, Ivan, God bless you for your service to this country. Thank you for it, etc. Folks, if you don't know who Ivan is, you'd have to be living under a freaking rock, right? And I'm just going to give you a bio so you understand. I told you Ivan is a first-generation American, just like myself, right? His folks are from St. Petersburg, from the USSR. That's where he was born, right? So let's see.
I was born in the U.S. in New
Were you
York.
born? Well, sorry, that's right. I meant your parents. That's where your parents were born. You
Father
were born
from
here.
Leningrad when it was Leningrad. My mother born in Khabarovsk, Far East. So I have a
Really?
little bit of mongoloid features on my face. Yeah,
That's okay. Most people don't realize that my folks, like my dad's from Cuba, my mom's from Iceland. I always tell people I'm probably the first.
and guess what?
I'm the very first ice cube you ever met. No, I'm kidding. Anyway,
this is what's going to throw everybody off. So my father, or I should say my father's mother, was Jewish.
really,
Yeah.
your father's mother's Jewish, so your father's Jewish.
Yes.
He might not have been practicing Jew,
Correct.
but your father is Jewish. Are your folks still alive?
No, they're no longer around.
You lost both of them.
Pre-COVID, so that's good.
Really? Are
Didn't
you
have to suffer
an
through
only
everything.
kid?
No, there's 4 of us actually.
Yeah, but you're the baby, right?
Yep, exactly.
Where are the other 3?
So they were born out there, and they're scattered throughout. Let's see here: Wisconsin, Texas, and New York.
A cheesehead, a New Yorker, a Texan, and you. And you're in Virginia,
Yep.
right? Which is
Yep.
a couple decades now in Virginia, right?
Yeah. Yeah. About. Yeah.
Okay, folks. So let me give you. You got his family background. He's served, right? He's got a law degree from Touro Law Center. When we'll talk about it in minutes, constitutional law. I think he's done European studies, right? He is what is called polyglot. We'll talk about that in a minute. He does his own broadcasting, sometimes under the moniker of the Deep State Marauder, right? One thing about Ivan is if there's a group, a gathering, a speaking event, Ivan's there. If there's a camera or a microphone, Ivan's there. Ivan's known for getting in people's, it's just true. Ivan's known for getting in people's faces, right? And he's like the bulldog that's just going to get in your face and you see him with, I want to say Joey Fatone Backstreet, but bullshit guy from DC police, that fool. Anyway, so most people saw that. He appears on tons of podcasts. You've seen him all over the place, right? And even though I kid him about it, it's true. If there is a microphone and there is a gathering, Ivan's there. And so Ivan.
Hey, I like the First Amendment, Jovan.
No, it's totally fine. I appreciate that. And we're having this discussion because of the First Amendment. So I have no problem with that at all, right? And so he regularly makes the rounds. He regularly makes the shows. He's got a cast of characters he appeal with. By the way, we're talking about Thomas Massey today is what we're going to talk about. A few other things so you understand where Ivan comes from this, because Ivan is the mixed bag of tricks, right? He's always thinking, he's always moving, he's always hustling. This is one guy that I can imagine doesn't sleep, right? Because he's always working it, always working the angle. Some of the things out there that you need to know about Ivan's background is Ivan is the author, the core idea of the Pence card. When you heard that floating around, that Pence can decide not to take the vote, and then you had Pence do the Pence thing and memorialize himself to history. So Ivan's the author of that. Additionally,
can I clarify that, Jovan, if you give me a couple seconds?
Can I get to this real quick? 3 more, and
because it was inaccurate on that portion of it. The Pence card. So the Pence card theory applied to December 23rd of 2020 under the framework of the Electoral Count Act. Right. And Jack Smith, as well as the J6 committee, confounded that with activities of January 6th. I had a second separate theory for January 6th, which was
okay. I see where it is. Okay, so the issue is January 6th versus the 23rd. Okay, I got it. No problem. But the Pence card is your baby.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. And then you did a lot of the authorship to help create the alternate state electors stuff going on.
No, that would have been John Eastman. My theory was completely separate from John Eastman's, as well as
I thought it was one
else.
and the same. I thought John gave you credit, you gave John credit. Okay, good.
No, a lot of people confound those two. It's much more nuanced than that. And
Okay.
I don't know. At some point, it would be
Well,
nice
let's talk
to have
about
that
it. Let's talk
discussion.
about it in a minute. Also, you've done what people refer to as election remediation. Did a ton of calls in 2020 and more. You testified as an expert witness in regard in Maricopa. Came to all their hearings in Maricopa to talk about what happened. That's when Wendy Rogers convened her board. You also talked about preemptive legislature plans that, basically saying the electors don't have to go over that. I want to talk to you about this one because that's what Spanberger did in your home state of Virginia. She actually, unfortunately, kind of took that advice. But here's my first question for you. So you're a polyglot. Here comes the test. What does this say?
Окей, добро пожаловать в программу «Избавься от хлама». Let's see.
Well, do the first line. What's the first line? Tell people what the first line is.
Welcome to the program.
Cut the crap.
Cut the crap.
Yep.
And it looks like you're probably doing the same thing there. Gracias por su servicio a este país. The last one. I don't know I'm assuming that's Hebrew, the third one.
See? Yeah, you're right. That. You're right. And I'm trying to think, what in the fuck were you thinking when you put what's up with the squiggles on my profile?
Hey,
you're a polyglot, right? And
yeah, but I'm not C3PO, man.
And fucking,
I mean, I don't speak.
What's up with the squiggles on your profile name? If you knew how to read Hebrew, it says I can't stand idiots.
Okay, so your profile is pretty much similar to mine.
Yes.
If you look at the title or the what do you call it? The profile description.
But come on, you know what the fuck those scribbles were. You proved it right there. You know exactly what those scribbles were, and you referred to them as scribbles as opposed to what they are as Hebrew.
Right. And so the reason why I do some of the things that I do, Jovan, is in order to engage and have the conversation to the next step. So when I use the term scribbles, then we move into the pardon
program. We were scheduling the program. That was your reply to me.
No, hey, but everyone else is watching. I consider the auto pen scribbles as not a legitimate pardon. So when you get more people engaged in the term scribbles, you can then pivot to another scribble that I really want to talk about.
Well, that's the sort of stuff. By the way, this is squiggles, and you knew it was Hebrew. It's kind of like a backhanded "fuck you" Jew, don't you think? Come on.
And that's how you interpret it.
Yes, that's how I interpret it. That's why we're having this discussion. So let's get right to the core of the matter. Look, you are entitled.
Well, I'll say this. I mean, you were kind of, in all honesty, the way I interpreted your responses, you were trying to get a hold of me.
Yes.
And you were tagging me. I didn't catch any of that. And the moment that I found out you were doing that, I think from your perspective, you already escalated thinking that I'm running from you.
No,
and so I
didn't think you were. I didn't think you were running from me. No.
And so that I did a little bit, a little edgy, whatever you want to call it. And then now we're here.
Yeah. It's okay. Look, First Amendment, baby. I would rather have people speak their fucking minds and discuss it together. There is nothing worse than all the backroom stabbing bullshit, back talking shit that goes on. So I truly appreciate you being here, right?
Same.
But I want to go right to the freaking core.
Yeah.
Let me show you what tripped my trigger, and I'm a big enough man to admit it tripped my fucking trigger. Here we go.
The Israel firsters.
This is what it looks like when we're about to watch AIPAC burn about $15 million.
Hey, keep spending. I want you to burn $100 million.
$100 million.
You know what? Burn the next $250 million, Miriam.
And we hear that this hoodie really upsets you guys, so if you don't mind, I might throw it on for another pick. We got Shannon over here. We got Shannon. Yeah, there's Shannon, Ivan.
Okay, before we unpack that.
What triggers? Like, can you articulate
every bit of it?
All the emotions.
Every bit of it. We know most of the same people. We know most of the same damn Jews, Melke, Roseanne, etc. And you are standing in a room fostering this shit. It's the Jews. And
Did I use that term, Jovan?
We'll go through it. I said you're fostering. I didn't say you said, and I am a stickler on words. I did not say you said. So we can do semantics all day long. Let's just kind of get through the theme here. And I'm going, wait a minute. Here is a man that every time the camera's on and been done, and you're in all these different categories and whatever, and then boom, you are standing in a room
with Thomas Massey.
Hold on. I'm talking that video. And
he was in that room.
And you were hucking it up with him there. Hang on, watch it again. You're
Thomas
hucking
Massey
with him.
is in the room. And the
I
reason
got
why
that.
I'm in
That's not what I'm talking about.
in order
Hang on.
to, based on my priorities and reasons, to go and support Thomas Massey.
I'm not
and
begrudging you that.
I can't tell people or stop people from coming there that
I'm
have
not
their
begrudging
own
you that.
separate agendas.
I'm not begrudging you that. That's not my point. If anything I understand about these, look, you are a political operative, period. That's what you are. That's what you do. That's how you make your living. That's the whole thing. I get it. I understand it.
I wish I made my living on it.
That's not, well, yeah, it's
this
kind
is
of lean
volunteerism. It's a hobby.
How do you support your family then?
I'm retired. I retired from the military.
And your military retirement,
I have that and disability from military.
Allows you to live in Virginia and take care of your family.
Yep.
Well, congratulations to you.
I mean, I get speaking also gigs, right?
Yeah.
That supplements.
Right. But you're a political operative. That's what you are, right? But here's my point. It's not that it's Massey. Don't confuse this with Massey. This is not, our discussion is not to be confused with Massey. Our discussion, just watch the video again. It's not.
No, I remember the video, and I focused on Miriam Adelson.
It's who you're yucking it up with.
The Israel firsters.
This is what it looks like when we're about to watch AIPAC burn about $15 million.
Hey, keep spending. I want you to burn $100 million.
$100 million.
You know what? Burn the next $250 million, Miriam.
And we hear that this hoodie really upsets you guys, so if you don't mind, I might throw it on for another pick. We got Shannon over here. We got Shannon. Yeah, there's Shannon, Ivan.
I'm going to give you the entire platform uninterrupted to rebut that. Let me just show a few. Let me just show a few things so the people know. And I'm being very
what
clear.
did I say that's not factual? So I was hoping that there would be 100 million.
We're going to get to it,
but it wasn't. It was only 30-something million.
No, we're going to get to it. I'm going to show you the numbers. I'm going to show you who, what, when, where. We're going to get to that point.
Okay.
That's not my point. My point is yucking it up with this guy.
Why don't you have Ryan on the show to
Ryan won't
discuss the
respond.
nuances?
Ryan won't respond. It's not nuances. It's fact. I'm telling you what I'm upset about. So let me share this with the people. We don't have to get derailed. Let me share with the people this guy, Ryan, who in that video you're hucking it up with regarding Jews and money. I just want them to understand Ryan's background, period.
They had dental facilities. They had medical facilities, and they actually kept track of the birth records. So there were actually more Jays that were born in the camps than passed away in the camps. These people weren't thrown in bunkers and infested with lice and fleas. They might have been when they came over. They're dirty people, right? Like, do you tell me left the horde isn't covered, their heads aren't covered in fleas? And
I do have to admit something. I'm so fucking dirty with lice and fleas that I did wash for this program because you were coming on. This is the guy. This is the guy. And,
but why am I responsible for
you're
what
not
you
responsible
say
for him.
what he says?
You got to let me get it out. No,
Yeah.
I told you I'm going to give you a free rein. I did not say you're responsible for him. Please don't put words in my mouth. I am telling you, you asked, what did I get bent about? I'm trying to show you and the audience what I got bent about. I'm going to give you free fucking rein. Trust me, I'm not going to interrupt you. Just let me get through these few clips. Here's my issue with this guy.
they had dental facilities. They had medical facilities, and they actually kept track of the birth records. So there were actually more Jays that were born in the camps than passed away in the camps. These people weren't thrown in bunkers and infested with lice and fleas. They might have been when they came over. They're dirty people, right? Like, do you tell me left the horde isn't covered, their heads aren't covered in fleas and gnats and whatever other dark, demonic, gross things? They don't even shower, so of course they are. They're disgusting humans, right? So to think that the ones that they were rounding up weren't that vile and disgusting back in the 1940s, of course they were, right?
Okay. Now, you're a military guy. Thank you for your service, but let's check his stuff about the military.
So we got some breaking news coming in from RT. Unfortunately, the video of the Marines getting captured turned out to be a total dud. That would have been fucking awesome, wouldn't it? Trump tries to take Kyrgyz Island. The Marines get captured. Nobody gets killed. Iran has them hostage. And basically what the what the soldier said in that video was so good. It was basically like, Trump set us up, complete failure. We were not prepared. I was like, wow, this is fucking insane how good this is. This is going to end the war. It's going to be such a great video. Turned out to be a fake. Anyways, check out this shit. Large number of U.S. Marines killed in a suicide drone plus missile mass strike by Iran. Complete elimination of American soldiers from their land. And then I got another video over here that says, breaking, the Iranian Revolutionary Guard announces it had struck U.S. Marine forces on Kuwait's Budayan Island, causing injuries among American troops. So I don't know if that's the same thing they're talking about, but the Middle East is getting completely obliterated right now by choice, really. Iran told them exactly what they were going to do. Do not strike these energy facilities. 6 hours later, after President Trump gave a direct order and told Israel to stand down and we will not attack your energy facilities, they turned around and Israel 6 hours later blew them up. So now the Middle
Hey, Jovan, I got a Twitter space at 8:30.
Thanks to Israel, yeah. Thanks to the United States.
That I got to do.
Thanks to our government. It's an absolute shame.
Why would you set a program back to this program when to do all this? And I mean, it's key stuff.
It is. I mean, you've had 30 minutes, Jovan, and I've had about 30 seconds to speak.
It's not a contest. And what I'm doing is I don't treat anybody as they understand what's going on. It's not about you. It's not about me. It's about the audience watching. Right. And that's why my own program's not even named after me, because it's just about, let's look at this situation. And so the audience has to be informed on this.
I can tell you what my priorities are. I've been trying to go after
I got your priorities. Here you go.
2020 election fraud.
Hold on one second.
Pandemic.
You got to hold on.
And this Congress.
Don't talk over, please. Please. Just for have peace.
Again,
don't
you
talk
had
over.
30 minutes.
I may have 39, and we may do multiple ones, and you may want to bail if you want to bail. I got that. I can't control that. But this is me inviting you in the program, I'm educating the audience, and I want answers. I want answers why you as a military guy.
Provide them.
No, you're trying to provide what you want to. No, you're trying to provide what you want to provide. Okay, this is not my content. This is I'm gonna ask you questions.
Well, the content of your content that you're choosing, and then other person's content. This is not my content.
Okay, so you're cool yucking it up with him. He hopes that he kills our guys. Here, I pray that the Iranian soldiers eliminate.
I think this is more appropriate for you to interview Ryan Matta rather than myself, because you obviously have a fetish for him.
Don't get insulting. Don't get insulting.
How is that inaccurate?
How is it inaccurate? It's fucking stupid. And it's a little twist and tease, like there's squiggles in the name, being provocative. A fetish? A fetish?
So maybe that's what he was doing.
You're in the room sucking off a Nazi, right? Yucking it up. You want to like go, there it is. So
just
right?
exactly what he wanted.
There you go.
And it worked.
There it is.
And then it brought attention to it.
And you're deflecting. And you're totally deflecting.
I'm
so
just
if you want to go right to
what
it,
you're saying.
You're not amplifying what I'm saying. Basically, what you choose to do, Jews are bad, AIPACs are bad. Go. You got another prior engagement. Don't let me interrupt you. Have the floor.
Okay, perfect. So I'm going to explain again. The reason why I'm in Kentucky is because Thomas Massie was the only one that stood their ground out of the 535 members of Congress against the shutdowns and the illegal $2 trillion COVID heist relief package that was ushered in by Nancy Pelosi. Stood on the floor. Okay, that may not be important to you.
No,
but to me, it's very important.
How does that relate to being in a room with people that said there was no Holocaust, Jews are bad, and you yucking up? I hope the Jews spend more. How does that relate?
Right. So number two, my second priority is that the COVID con ushered in the illegal 2020 election, and then January 6th Fedsurrection. Thomas Massie, along with his staff, were the only ones in Congress that were looking into the Ray Epps question and the January 6th, January 5th pipe bomb question.
BS.
That is very important to me. May not be important to you or anybody else.
It's not that it's not important. It's a bullshit, non-verifiable fact. It's bullshit. But go ahead. That he was the only one. That he was the only one looking into Ray Epps on Capitol Hill. He was the only one trying to get to the bottom. Bullshit.
I was working with Barry Loudermilk's chief of staff for the first 3 years when he was in before he ran for Congress.
Like I said, you're a political operative. I understand
and
every
no one
bit
was
of what you
working
do.
As much as Thomas Massie and his staff.
That's an opinion, and I'm calling bullshit on your opinion. It's not a fact.
Okay. I mean, that's what I observed when I was engaging with the judiciary oversight, the
You
House
don't
Admin Committee.
You're making an opinion. You don't speak for everybody. You're not at every meeting. You don't know everything. And if the camera comes on, you're there, but that doesn't mean you know everything. You are expressing an opinion as fact, and I'm calling horse shit on it. But go ahead.
Okay.
You're there supporting Massey.
So that's your conclusion. I just provided some evidence on why I think
that's not evidence. That's your opinion. That's not evidence. Don't you fucking know what evidence is as an attorney?
Let me give you some more
opinion.
examples. So the committee that was responsible for looking into January 6th was initially during the 118th Congress, the House Administration Committee, the Subcommittee on Oversight, chaired by Barry Loudermilk.
What did you miss about that? I'm asking you why you're hanging out with the crowd. The Zionists supporting it, and by the way, you say, "Well, I don't support him." It's his words. Is that why Ivan? You tweet him saying he's a fucking legend?
Yeah, play that video.
You're trying. I don't have the reel. You're trying to step
play the
away
video
from
that I'm referring legend to. I'm not saying legend to the other comments and commentary that he did.
You give this guy a pass when he prays for our American soldiers to be killed, when he wears a swastika, and then
I did not amplify that content that he did.
Huh?
I amplify content that I agree with.
You didn't correct it. You didn't correct it.
I have no obligation to. I amplify content that I agree with. Okay.
That it's the Jews, that it's AIPAC that runs the world.
No, I said that. I didn't. No, you liked semantics.
That's not semantics. You don't have to take a step at me. AIPAC, you said AIPAC has to blow their money because, look, this is a conversation from 2.5 years ago. You know exactly what group it started in when this AIPAC attack was planned. You know exactly what group I'm talking about. When this whole thing was set up and going to be planned to be popped on us today. Well, here we are today. It's AIPAC, right? And in your comment, yucking up AIPAC because they buy the politicians, they buy everything, they spend more. See, so you think AIPAC, we're having a conversation. No, I'm having a conversation that
Twitter
I tracked
account.
from 2.5 years ago.
Okay. So AIPAC's Twitter account you're referring to, right? Using their own words?
No, I'm not. No, I'm using our
Are you using Donald Trump's own words?
No, I'm using our internal
with
I'm using our internal
Miss,
group.
Miriam Adelson.
I'm giving you the answer.
She's Palestinian, by the way. I don't know. Is she Jewish?
Nobody's
I'm not sure about her religion, but she was born in
that
Palestine.
A point? Does she? Oh my God! Does she have red shoes? Where the fuck is Palestine? What kind of fucking idiot are you?
Her bio.
What kind of fucking
born in Palestine, right?
You think there's a fucking Palestine?
You know when she
Where
was
the
born,
fuck
right?
is Palestine?
Well, let's go back 80 years ago.
Wait, wait. Hang on.
When was Israel
7
created?
rays of light, red shoes. See
when
how you
was
changed the
Israel?
subject
What
to
year was
deflect?
Israel created?
46. See how the see how
So what was 80 years ago?
what was 80 years ago? See, semantics. See, you
It
throw
was
it in there.
Palestine.
No, your goal is to discount anything Jewish because face it, you're a fucking Jew hater. Period.
Incorrect.
That's not incorrect. You use the shield of AIPAC.
I'm all about
right?
America as a citizenship, right? As a nation.
And what you do is you ride.
I love all
Jews.
Jews except for 3.
Okay. And here you go. Why do you talk and amplify? Why do you talk and amplify about the number 10th contributor on the list in PACs? Why do you talk about that? Why aren't you talking about everyone above that? Why is the agenda Jews? Why is the agenda not China? Why is Massey's money that came in only 4% came from Kentucky? Here's the bottom line. Their own actions,
I talk about
Massey
particularly 3 individuals
and everything else. Look, when Massey invites people that
and
hate,
John Paulson.
When Massey invites people that hate, that basically say Trump is a con, Trump is over, Trump is a rig, and you're in the middle of it. You're one of the invitees. He only invited people who knew would write.
I went on my own volition. He did not even know I was coming.
Oh,
I made the decision to fly out there.
You snuck in
15 minutes before I jumped on the plane to head over there.
You snuck in.
I wouldn't call it sneaking in.
Well, how do you get into a lawmaker's house uninvited?
I didn't go to his house. I didn't go to his home. I was not one of the ones that went to his home, Jovan.
How do you get to the event uninvited? Just crash it?
No, it's listed. It was listed publicly where the events were going to be at.
Okay, so you went like I said, if a camera's going to be there, you're going to be there. Here's the question. Why do you talk? Why do you talk about the 10th thing on the list?
The reason why I talk is because I like to talk. Like,
why do you talk about the 10th thing on the list? Why don't we ever take them in order? Why are you backing Massey when only 4% of his money came from Kentucky? Every bit of it came from the Act Blue cities. Why do you endorse that?
Okay, so the overwhelming influence, if you start at the top, these President Trump's own terms, own words, he said that Miriam Adelson provided $250 million to purchase his seat in the White House, okay? And that she was going to also provide more money
that President
to his
Trump
next presidential race.
AIPAC.
This is his own words, okay?
Okay, so he said he's controlled by AIPAC?
You want me to repeat what I just said?
No, I'm asking you.
Okay, so the next thing I'll say is that when he was in Israel,
is that he admitted he's controlled by Israel? Is that what you're saying? That you said it's President
why
Trump's
are you
own
always
words?
censoring me by muting me, Jovan?
Because you won't answer the question. You're changing it. It's not censoring you. It's just you
I'm
don't
not
talk
answering
over
it how you want me to answer
That's
your
not,
question.
you just said that President Trump said that she bought the
You
White
can
House
ask the
seat.
question, and I
right?
answer it how I want to answer it.
Go ahead.
That's the beauty of the conversation.
You're actually going on to other things. But okay, so she bought President Trump's White House seat.
Yeah, this is
this is my
Donald
point.
Trump's own terms.
You
used
parade
those words
as
effectively.
MAGA when behind the scenes you're not. You parade as MAGA, you're not. You never have been, right? And
I support and defend the Constitution.
Okay, and so MAGA doesn't defend the Constitution.
Well, it depends on each specific policy based on my priorities. Like I have my own priorities.
Donald Trump doesn't defend the Constitution.
Well, I call balls and strikes. When the balls are coming out, I call them out, and then the strikes as well.
Does Donald Trump not defend the Constitution?
I like a president that is prioritizing Americans, regardless of what religion they practice.
And where is he not? Oh, it's religion?
Regardless of the religion they practice, Jovan.
So you like
regardless of the religion they practice.
So President Trump's showing
because
a
that's part
preferential
of
treatment?
First Amendment.
So President Trump's showing a preferential treatment? Quit dodging the fucking question.
Well,
President Trump shows a preferential treatment to
towards
Jews.
his donors. And
every politician kisses their donor's ass, fool.
I get that. And those donors,
like
Miriam Adelson is an Israeli citizen, sir.
And
that's all factual.
What does that have to do with anything?
And I just call it out. And apparently it triggers folks like you when I call that out.
No. See, I guess
the truth hurts.
No, you can.
Truth doesn't hurt.
And I guess you get on your knees every night.
To who?
Other guys. To Massey. See, you can see words. You can
all
see
of a
words.
Sudden
you concede words. No, you concede words. I concede words. See, here's the deal: is you're a political operative.
Okay.
You talk in circles. Now, you just said backhandedly, President Trump doesn't go with the Constitution. You're not MAGA. You haven't been MAGA. Watch it for a very long time. Now, you'll go kiss MAGA's ass, and you'll go get speaking engagements to get it, but you're not MAGA. And then you
obviously haven't seen my development over the course of the last year. The reason why I'm the way I am is that on January 20th,
let's just get to
campaign
the
promises. Day one, we're supposed to have January 6th. All January 6ers pardoned, right? What happened?
What happened to you at January
12
6th?
that didn't.
What happened with you?
And then from there, the
what happened
escalation
with you at January
of betrayals continued.
What happened
October
with
10th,
you?
he got the booster. Then you had right after Charlie Kirk was gone, right?
So when you were there, what happened with you?
Albert Bourla comes in.
When you were there, what happened
the White
with
House? Mark Zuckerberg comes into the White House. He starts to
you think you're not going to talk over me? What happened with you in January 6th?
He endorses Democrat COVID criminal Andrew.
Let's talk about when you were at January 6th.
Andrew
what
Cuomo
happened
was
to you?
a Democrat, buddy.
What happened
Why
with
are
you
you
in
endorsing Democrats?
What happened with you in January 6th? You didn't have anything done to you. Why is that?
Correct.
Why
because
is that?
I'm that good.
You're
I defeated the deep
good.
State in spite of everybody coming after me.
No. You got a lot of you. I'm trying to get to one topic at a time. You talk over and you go on.
You asked about January 6th. Now I'm addressing.
No.
You don't want to talk about January 6th now?
What I first asked.
What's the next one? Just keep asking questions. I'll just listen.
Trump doesn't do the Constitution. Trump's bought by the Israelis. See,
how am I able to answer your
well,
question
let me, you
in
don't
one
answer the
letter?
questions. You move on
In the
to another
thousand
topic.
of
You
asked
move on
1,000
to another
questions and
topic.
give me a time for one letter
Move
response.
all you got to do is answer one.
Doesn't
Don't
work
answer
that
like
way.
a politician.
Well, you
Donald
can
Trump doesn't
filibuster
follow.
for
Here it
my
is, real simple. Ready?
response.
Yes or no? Donald Trump doesn't follow the Constitution.
I'm trying to give you some explanations of
I don't
my
need an
reasoning
explanation.
to
I
get
want
to
to
the
know just simple. It's
conclusions
a
that I
binary.
have.
Donald Trump doesn't follow the Constitution.
Well, it's not that simple. I wanted to give you some examples, and
Donald Trump's
I
owned
tried.
by the Donald Trump's owned by the Jews.
Bringing in Albert Bourla into
Donald
the White
Trump's
House.
owned by the
You
Jews.
like that?
This is not a political discussion. It's a very simple what your belief system is. Donald Trump, you've stated and alluded to Donald Trump doesn't follow the Constitution. You've alluded to that Donald Trump's owned by the Jews, the same bullshit rhetoric. You've alluded to
Miriam Adelson.
You're kind of
I'm not sure. Is she Jewish?
You're kind of backhanded.
Is
side.
Miriam Adelson
same
Jewish?
shit, right? 7 rays of light, red shoes.
Jovan, is Miriam Adelson
7 rays of light. All you did was
Jewish?
change the subject.
I don't know.
Next,
Is she?
Next,
Can
like
you
you just
please
said,
answer one question?
I'm not here
answered
to
a
answer
few.
questions for you. I'm here to ask you
You're
questions.
not here to answer questions. It's not a
I'm not going
discussion.
to answer questions about Mendelsohn.
Just going to get emotional
I'm asking you
and
about
just
Jews.
talk over me the entire
Is it going to get
45 minutes
Is
we've
it going
been
to do
on.
this? No, answer the question and quit being the political squirrel.
It's impossible to
you
answer
are.
a question when you just keep
No, it's not.
talking
Here's
with
the
questions.
question. Does
And I don't
President Trump
answer it the
follow
way
the
you want to.
Constitution? It's yes or no.
That triggered you.
Okay, folks, let me explain this tactic.
Well, I'll say this.
In psychological warfare, in psychological warfare, and I'll put them on side for a minute. On psychological warfare, here's the key of the thing. You keep on talking, you change the subject, you answer nothing, and it's called DARVO. You can look up, it's called DARVO. Look up the definition of DARVO. This is exactly what you're seeing. It's basically a political operative trained letter agency tactic. So basically what happens when you ask a point question, the first D is deflect. I've taught on this before. You are watching it occur in real time. What I'm trying to get for you is straight answers, not political answers. We get political shit all the time. I'm tired of the political shit. I just want straight answers. Now, what you've heard so far is President Trump doesn't follow the Constitution. That's the illusion. President Trump's owned by the Jews. But he wants to say, well, you know, Palestinians, it's this. No, fucking Roman, whatever it is, you can go back any way you want, right? Well, he's not doing the rule of law, all this other, it's all going bing, 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 bing. It's called DARVO. It is an agency tactic. I'm trying to get past that. Now, when they can't get past the DARVO, what they do is they start throwing things at you. Oh, what about this? What about you're not this? And you're just triggered into this. I'm not going to do that. So here's the deal. Does President Trump or not, in your estimation, Ivan, literally follow the Constitution? It's a yes or no question. No answer. Okay. Is Donald Trump owned by the Jews? You know, you got to undo your mic.
Yeah, by Miriam Adelson, according to Donald Trump's own words.
Got it. Does Donald Trump follow the Constitution?
Yeah, mostly yes. But when he sends the Secretary of
War
Donald
Trump
to violate the Hatch Act in order to steal and coerce a race in Kentucky, that's problematic. That's very poor precedent-setting moves.
Okay,
to send his
I
Secretary
got it.
of
We
War.
can deal with that one. Hang on, just one quick question, then we can deal with the Hatch Act. And you are saying that Donald Trump makes his decision based on religion. Now, we know he's not Catholic like you, but he makes his decision based upon religion, correct? Is another thing you said. Am I right or am I wrong? Let's look at the Hatch Act.
I'm not sure why you even interpreted my statement that way. I didn't say that.
It's what you said. He said he makes decisions for one faith.
No.
Yes, you did.
I did not say that, Jovan.
He makes decision based on faith.
I don't know if you have good speakers because I did not say that.
Okay, no problem. I'll give you a pass on it. Here's what we're talking about with Pete Hegseth. I asked you today for a picture so we could honor to your military service, which in fact you have all over your stuff. The what you gave me is, well, it wouldn't be really appropriate to do that, but it is on your own promotion stuff. Your thing was, why don't I ask Pete Hegseth on about Pete's issue? So folks, let's just deal with the facts. Pete is what's called a presidentially appointed, Senate confirmed pass official. That's cabinet secretaries like Secretary of Defense, deputy secretaries, many agency heads, ambassadors, etc. You can read it. Pete went there in Kentucky because you just heard Ivan, political bullshit, swing a glaze, put heavy hand in a race, all political pandering. Basically, Hegseth had the approval of the Pentagon. He attended in his personal capacity as a private citizen and combat veteran. No tax dollars were used for the campaign stop, and it was pre-cleared by the Department of Defense Legal General Counsel. No violation. But yes, and it's actually said in it, past officials can do this. But you have Ivan, right, basically throwing out these theories that it's violating a law. Same thing on these things about election officials that got 9 attorneys disbarred. 9. Can't be undone. Why do you come out with this wild shit, and why do you change it to Pete Hegseth? The law is clear. So why is that burning you with Massey, other than you're there kissing Massey's ass, that Hegseth through it? Here's the deal. Somebody who's winning an election and winning their state, 4% of their donations doesn't come from their own state. That tells the truth right there. 4% of the money that came in actually came from fucking Kentucky. The rest of it was a racket run. And you don't call in Nazis. You don't call in Jew haters. You don't have Jew throwing parties in it of people that talk about, I hope the military's dead. I hope Iran kicks our ass. You don't do that if you're winning. All the numbers show it's a bullshit con. And you keep on doubling down. But tell me how Hegseth violated your opinion of the law.
Yeah, so if any of the security guards that were with him cannot be security guards or any, you're supposed to travel as a Secretary of War with comms package. That comms package is a package that was provided with taxpayer dollars.
So you supersede the general counsel of the DOD. In other words,
his security detail also are military service members that are there to protect him, rightfully so. But that's through taxpayer dollars, thus triggering that Hatch Act violation.
Was he wearing red shoes?
His travel to that location was in a government plane, right?
No, it wasn't.
Thus, how did he get there?
He was actually speaking at an event afterwards, and they routed him through. It was pre-approved by the Department of Defense. Here's my thing.
Okay.
Let me give you an example. Why do you know better than the General Counsel of the Department of Defense? Is it because the Jews approved?
It's not that I know better. It's just that I was on the ground there and I observed the federally funded
the party you snuck in.
I didn't sneak in
because they had
anything.
cameras.
I was
because
there
was a photo op engagement.
I stayed at that hotel.
Oh,
I was a guest at the hotel. I was there in the lobby.
By happenstance? You admitted just a few minutes ago, you decided 15 minutes before the event to hop on a plane, and you said you went and crashed it. Now you're saying you were just there because you were a hotel guy?
Well, it wasn't announced that the secretary was going to be there until afterwards.
You mean you didn't get the call? Oh, shit. Did they forget the Ivan memo to invite you? Do they have to pre-approve it with you?
No, it was published, and that's when I found out that Hegseth was going to be there.
And you have heartburn of anything you can do.
I actually did a 17-minute video of I actually like Pete Hegseth. I actually appreciate some of the things that he's doing, particularly in line with what I
anything you can to throw shade.
What I've focused
at President Trump.
So his reinstatement related to COVID, fantastic. What he's doing, calling it out as an unlawful vaccine mandate, 100% line. I thought that he was being placed in a position that would actually undermine his authority because there's no reason for him to travel to that location. But by doing so, he had to make sure that it was cleared properly.
Personal opinion. In your personal opinion, it wasn't approved when the whole fucking weight of the government tells you it was, and it's signed off on.
So
and by the way,
the whole weight of the government was unlawfully used in order to steal that race or take that race in Kentucky.
They stole the race.
That's what I heard.
Massey is on the books himself, saying if he can't get the young guys in because it's so close,
it was taken.
He's not
through coercion. I mean, you also had Stephen Miller come out and violate.
Is that why Massey lost? Because it was Trump had Hegseth there, or was it the Jews? Which one is it?
Well, no, you had multiple layers of influence that occurred. You had Miriam Adelson's
just said
money.
Hegseth was there, and that's what made the election go.
That's one layer, right?
So, okay, so we got the Pete layer and the Trump hate layer. And
well,
then
no, there was the
and then
Pete
we've got the Jew hate
only
layer.
time ever in American history that a Secretary of War was deployed, very bad precedent, to look like he's invading northern Kentucky so that they vote a certain way so that the war continues. Right?
Let me make sure I catch up with them. I'm going to give you that.
Is the other component,
Ivan,
Miriam Adelson.
I'm going to give you a chance to repeat your fucking Democratic talking points. Let's just get back to the
You're
fucking
so
chat.
Animated.
Oh, here you go.
I said 2 sentences.
Pete Hegseth looking like he was deployed invading Kentucky. Same fucking words.
That's exactly what it looked like.
Same fucking words I heard today on Democracy Now! On PBS.
Well, I can't control how other people quote me.
I'm glad you got the memo.
A lot of people quote me.
Oh, they didn't. Well, they weren't quoting you. Don't get narcissistic about it. They weren't quoting you.
Well, I'm the first one to say it, so obviously, I mean, it had to originate somewhere.
You're talking the sheet tactics that come down to destroy Trump. And you can't talk straight, so everything's...
I'm not trying to destroy anybody. I'm motivating people to do the right thing and follow.
And what's the right thing?
And my focus, as I said, I'm going to reiterate. I want COVID accountability throughout. I want 2020 election accountability for everyone that was involved in it. And I want January 6th Fedsurrection accountability and everything that was interrelated with that. And that includes impeachment hoax 1 participants, each impeachment hoax 2. So there's a lot of overlap. But when you start to deviate from that, that's when it becomes problematic for me. I don't need anybody's permission to say and think what I say. Okay. So I do that.
Think you need to stop posing as MAGA. You need to stop posing as the ultimate patriot. And you need to come out.
You can call me what you want. I've been called many names much worse than you probably ever can think of.
I'm only calling you out on being a Jew hater, and you try to hide it, and you tell these guys are legends, and you huck it fucking up of American right, and you fucking think that's okay.
I love every single Jew except for 3.
Doesn't matter if you love every Jew, right? That's a bullshit word. Show me how you love every Jew when you're promoting American rights.
I love you, brother.
Show me how.
That's why I'm on your show. I have respect enough for you to come on your show.
Respect is one thing. Love is totally different. There's no love for every Jew when you're standing there with somebody who says there's a Holocaust denier. And by the way, more babies were. So
I'm supposed to get. I'm supposed to be punished. You're supposed to.
I'm not punishing you. I'm calling you out
and then get flex cuffed. Because I have not studied how one individual has said. I haven't learned what one individual has said his entire life and all the bad stuff and everything else. Okay.
You're standing there hucking it up with Rand should spend more. And I hope the Jews even spend more. Who is AIPAC, by the way, in your
Miriam Adelson. So why do you always say that Miriam Miriam Adelson a Jew?
Who is AIPAC?
I thought she was Palestinian. We just agreed that she was born in Palestine.
Who is AIPAC?
You tell me. Apparently, you know more about this than I do.
You tell me who AIPAC is. Who do you think AIPAC is?
Well, you tell me. You seem to know more about this.
I'm asking. Look, you said AIPAC. I hope they blow 100 million, 150 million. Hell, I hope it's even more than that. These are your words.
The Israel firsters.
This is what it looks like when we're about to watch AIPAC burn about $15 million.
Hey, keep spending. I want you to burn $100 million.
$100 million.
You know what? Burn the next $250 million, Miriam.
And we hear that this hoodie really up.
You heard me say Miriam.
So who's AIPAC?
Miriam. I said Miriam.
Who's AIPAC?
Who's Miriam? That's what I said.
The question.
Miriam Adelson. You got to ask Ryan Matt on that one, okay? Because he's the one that used that term. I use the term Miriam Adelson. See, I'm very specific. I'm very surgical.
Over again. So, so who is Miriam? Palestinian?
Born in Palestine, right?
What was Palestine?
Was an Israeli citizen until the age of 45.
What was Palestine? What's Palestine?
It's a territory that was labeled by the British Authority back in the day, right?
Before labeled by the Romans as a general area. It's never been a state. It's never been a country.
So then it became Israel.
Oh, wait. Newsflash. Everybody fucking born in that 6-state area was Palestinian then? Is that where the genocide's happening?
You tell me.
You tell me. You've got the Democratic talking points you always roll out with.
I have my own talking points, brother.
And you're a fucking Democrat operative.
45. Okay. Until she was 45, she was an Israeli citizen. Then she became a dual citizen with the United States. And when you look at all of her public commentary, statements, and speeches, it's only for one thing. It's to support Israeli causes. Now, I don't know if she promotes Jewish or Christian or Islamic causes. That I haven't looked into. I just know that it's
what
Israeli
nation in the world are the religion and the people the same?
I think there's some Muslim countries. I don't know the exact number.
The religion and the people are the same. There's only one class of people.
So there are no Christian.
Jewish.
There's no Israelis that are Christian?
There's plenty of Israelis.
There's no Israelis that are Israeli citizens that are Muslim?
There's 5 million Americans that support this, and you try to play it off as it's Israel money. Their grassroots is one of the single largest
I focus
in
more
America.
on individuals. Again, Miriam Adelson.
No, you roll AIPAC,
and then we talk about what's the other guy, John Paulson. Wasn't he in the Epstein files, John Paulson?
Yeah, and Bannon, who you've been on a lot. What's Bannon tell you
about
Epstein?
I stopped.
What does Bannon tell you about Epstein? What does Bannon tell you about Epstein?
Listen to me, Jovan.
Has he showed you the photos?
Listen to me, Jovan.
Has he showed you the videos? See, I'm
going to answer this. I have stopped being on Bannon. I'm responding to Bannon, bro.
You do the same shit that Alex Jones is doing now. The Jews, Mickelson, the Jews. Why do you do that?
I stopped being on Bannon after that came out in the Epstein files. I stopped being on Bannon after it came out on the Epstein
files. Every
files.
time a camera comes on. It doesn't matter where it is. It doesn't matter what event. By the way, what was your election expertise speaking in Arizona in front of the Senate?
It's different than yours. It was about the constitutional process of the Electoral Count Act.
No, it wasn't. I'll show you exactly what it was. Let's hear Ivan, who is now a technology expert.
First question is from Senator Borelli.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair and Colonel. I'm
retired,
also military, and
this was about foreign interference in elections, about the China question.
So when the Cold War era timeframes during the Cold War, the big threat was man. Mutually assured destruction, and once that Cold War was that aspect of mutually assured destruction was quelled because of Ronald Reagan and the wall coming down and stuff like that, and we know about this shift, the change on the concept of warfare, changed economically to mutually economic destruction. So that way, if all the components are not playing ball with each other, that one of the principles, the other principles will close it down. It's basically a big conglomerate. And so with your assessment of saying that Russia, China, and Iran, all the colluding.
You say you were there about Constitution stuff. No. You commented on machines.
You noticed that
circuit boards that you don't know anything about.
You noticed that video was not me speaking. That was Senator Sonny Borelli. You know the difference between me and him, right? Those are his questions.
No,
it is. I don't look like Sonny Borelli.
I am so sorry.
I don't look like Senator Sonny
I made
Borelli.
a mistake. I thought that was you. I didn't know. Darvo.
Follow-up question, Senator Borelli, and then I have a question after that.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair and Colonel. So, electronic systems, computers, stuff like that. DOD would not allow a motherboard manufactured in China to have a internal mini PCI slot for wireless card and password jumper that allows for the removal of reset bio passwords, incorporates the We would not allow any of that equipment in DOD, especially in our aircraft. Any kind of electronic equipment made in China.
You would hope that would be the case, but what is the mechanism to make sure that doesn't happen?
Well, Madam Chair, right. So if we had a computer component, a microchip or something like that in a military aircraft, that aircraft would be down, correct?
If the federal government wants to do that and doesn't really shore up its supply chain, what do we have? It's really on the state legislatures to make sure, especially in the systems that you have plenary power over, to make sure that risk doesn't even exist.
Well, Madam Chair, to that point, the point I'm trying to make here is I have an appendix 4 from sworn affidavits that have been filed in several state courts. Country of manufacturer or origin of voting system components. It's a list of all this stuff. Like I said, I mentioned that motherboard is the PRC. Wouldn't that be the People's Republic of China?
Absolutely. I've seen that document that you're referring to, Senator Borelli.
Let me see. We have
I think it's retired Colonel Sean Smith, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
That gave that testimony.
I'm not going to say the name of the company.
kind of interesting. Colonel Sean Smith, another fellow that has done this.
Yeah. So notice I didn't talk about technical issues.
This that was still there. That actually they did nothing about January 6th. He got off too, but other people got arrested. So
I mean,
how is it? How is it?
Anytime.
No, I'm just finishing my statement. How is it you're an election integrity expert? Fill us in.
Right. So if you heard,
and what'd you do with the Arizona
can you
audit?
give me about 15 seconds without
I can. I'm just making sure you got the question. Tell me how you're an election integrity expert, and tell me what you did for the Arizona audit.
Okay. So I'll start with the second one. I did nothing for the Arizona audit. I know you did a lot of work. So as it applies to his question, I didn't give any technical analysis because that's not my lane. I'm not a professional expert. As far as I understand,
I got nine of them lined. I got nine of them lined up.
Can I give you compliment? Like, I want to give you compliments.
If you want, have at it. Go ahead.
At the very beginning. You have been on the technical side of things, as far as I know, probably the lead person nationally exposing all the technical glitches at a level that I can't even comprehend that you can. And you've laid it out over the last 6 years, and you've been fighting for that cause. That's why we are aligned 100. Like, when I saw your work, 100% in line with you on that issue.
I have one question about that. I have one question about that alignment.
On that one, I totally support your efforts.
One question on alignment.
And I respect you for that.
One question on alignment. If you respect me so much, why did you advise Liz Harris to not have me speak at that hearing? Because it'd be too controversial, and you pop up as the speaker. How are we aligned?
I don't believe that I said that way. I said, let me answer the second question. I want to answer that. Well, hold on. Look. I only focused in my answer on the constitutionality of the legislature. And
that wasn't what I asked. That wasn't what I asked.
Plenary authority. So no technical.
Wasn't what I asked you.
As far as, again, and then going back to what you just asked.
Yes.
That she asked me, who should I have? And she gave me a list of names. She wanted my feedback. I gave my feedback, but I told her ultimately she's the one that decides on who to bring in. I gave her my opinion.
And your opinion was Jovan's too controversial. We can't have them. They won't have this hearing if Jovan's here.
You can't have
your quote.
No. I didn't use that language. I said, I explained that some people in the legislative body consider Jovan's words that he uses, his First Amendment sounds, as a little bit too spicy for them, and it could cause some consternation. That's probably more aligned with what I said.
Okay, I'll leave it there. Along with Sonny Borelli, who's sitting there, said the same thing. Sonny Borelli got every report, never opened them. We have a ping back in everything we provide. Wendy Rogers.
I would agree with you that
Wendy Rogers sitting there.
With you? Pause.
Let me get out. Wendy Rogers sitting there, Peterson or whatever is sitting there. Not a single one of them opened the evidence files. Not a one. Fincham, any of them. So no wonder you were in a consensus with it. You went along with it, saying they won't like it. He'll be too contentious. No wonder what Liz would do when Sonny Borelli's telling him the same thing, Wendy's telling him the same thing, etc. Come on.
Well, it was her hearing, one. Number two, I don't have control over the hearing.
She asked me,
and I answered my perspective.
I'm just saying
on
how
it,
you popped up in the vacuum as a speaker of evidence.
Sorry,
I don't get it. I'm just trying to figure out. You gave advice on the list. All of them don't want to hear the facts. They want to ask you about the machines. And the problem with the machines is it's all fucking voluntary why they want to keep it on the machines. But in this vacuum of your recommendation, which is the same as there, you pop up the speaker. How are you an election integrity expert?
I explained the Constitution, again, the constitutionality and the constitutional process of the federal election known as the presidential election. The Electors Clause, the interplay with the 12th Amendment, with the 10th Amendment, and the Electoral Count Act. That's where people consider me an expert. And that's where I focused my entire testimony on it. The questions that were asked, I mean, I'm not the expert on it. That should have been asked to other people. Now, you may have been one to specifically address that. Probably in a much better position than I would agree.
Nobody addressed it. That was part of the con of the Arizona hearing.
Excuse me. I also got a little sniffles.
But that's my point. You won't look. It's obvious you do not support Donald Trump.
What are you talking about? I support Donald Trump 1 trillion times more than any Democrat. Okay, right now we're going through primary season.
That's a bragging point. Come on.
Okay, I mean you can discredit and complain about anything that I say, but I'm telling you what I think.
You just said you like Donald Trump more than any Democrat.
Right. And so in primary season, which started earlier, like about a month ago, through
That's a good
September
one.
15th, this is when we try to upgrade the Republican Party and the Republican brand from where we're currently at, based on our specific views.
Okay.
So on September 15th, when Delaware is done with their primary, you're going to see that my zeal and efforts are going to then pivot towards the overarching enemy and threat to our constitutional order, which are the Democrats. But from now until September 15th, we're going to have our internal disagreements.
How was Massey an upgrade?
Massey is an upgrade on 3 issues that are near and dear to me, and I'm going to say it again. He is unvaccinated, okay? He did not submit himself to the jab. He's a critical thinker and pushed back against the entire ecosystem that tried to force the unsafe and ineffective emergency use authorized products. To me, that is my number one important.
And who did? And who forced the emergency use? Who did that? Who's responsible for that?
Who's responsible? The entire government.
But
the
who
entire
did it?
Government did that.
Are you blaming Trump on it?
Well, let's go back to the history behind it. It was the Biden criminal syndicate, the illegitimate one, that was doing the mandates. Okay, but
no. We got to go back. No, the Biden comes in later. Mandates came before. And by the way, I sat in on those meetings with Bricks, Fauci, and I have a lot more information.
August
who really
23rd
did what.
on the DOD mandate. That's the one that was applicable to me. Was the August 23rd of 2021. Was the FDA approval, and then the August 24th of 2021, during the Biden criminal syndicate era, that the Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin issued the vaccine mandate, and then the unlawful implementation memo continued on September 14th of 2021.
And Trump's responsible for that.
That's Biden criminal syndicate did the mandate. Okay.
You say you support Massey, but it's part of
he was the only one
saying that
amidst all Republicans and Democrats back in 2020 when the shutdown started to happen and the COVID relief package, all Republicans and all Democrats wanted to vote by proxy on that vote. And Thomas Massey stood up boldly and said, no, let's have a recorded vote.
So that's your one. What's the second thing?
To me, that's important. Also, he's unvaccinated.
I'm unvaccinated. It's very important. I get it. I agree with you.
I respect that. And
what's your second point that he's Mr. Rockstar?
On the January 6th component, we talked about you disagree that he was the only one, but
I do.
Based on my experience and observing all the committees that had any touch point jurisdiction on January 6th, the only person member that was focused in on RAYAPs and the pipe bomb specifically was Thomas Massey to get to the truth of it. Okay. That's important to me.
Important to the whole country. What's number 3?
And then number 3, the subsequent, let's go and the subsequent cover up, right? And then the ancillary ones are the truth and transparency. So I think he's the only member of Congress, as far as I can tell, that got a nearly unanimous vote in the House, -1, a unanimous vote in the Senate, and the president signed into law the most sweeping transparency disclosure of governmental documents that we've ever seen, which is the Epstein Files Transparency Act. So that's pretty important. I mean, as a one member of Congress, when everybody is against him, he was able to build a consensus to be able to do that. I don't think many members of Congress can do that.
So you're crediting, I want to make sure I got this. You're crediting that it is Thomas Massey that brought the Epstein stuff to a head.
Correct.
Do I understand that correctly?
I think most people would agree with that.
I'm just asking, is that what you're trying to communicate?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, and what you say is President Trump possibly not following the Constitution.
I didn't say that. You just jumped the gun and started kind of pinging in different directions and try to blame me for.
I'm not blaming
you.
For
Trying to take words that I say to completely.
I can't.
I
get
agree
yes
with
or no
President
out of
Trump on probably over 90%. Okay, over 90% easily.
Okay.
There's some issues that are still not been addressed, and they're finally being addressed. I think today was a big move. In that direction. So as these things start to be addressed, then I will gladly be one of the first ones to say, This is good. Kash
would
Patel the other day went after some individual, and while I've been very critical of him, I commented in his tweet that this is really good. This is good. When it's something that's in line with what the campaign promises were, I'm usually the first one out the gate saying this is exactly what I voted for, and I fully support this.
Okay.
I'm not
would
a no to everything. Would you have
lived and died by Massey? He didn't get elected, and you feel that President Trump put his finger on the scale with the Jews, with Pete Hegseth, put his finger on the scale.
Miriam Adelson
correct?
and Pete Hegseth. Yep.
Okay, that he put his finger on the scales with that.
Absolutely, he did.
Okay, could it be that Thomas Massey did the following?
What happened to Thomas Massey? President Trump is banning sex changes on minors. Massey voted against it. President Trump is cutting taxes and saving Kentucky families $10,000. Massey voted against it. President Trump is securing our border and deporting criminal aliens. Massey voted against Trump again. And after Trump obliterated Iran's nuclear weapons program, Massey sided with Democrats and the Ayatollah. Let's fire Thomas Massey. MAGA Kentucky is responsible for the content of this advertising.
So you actually think it's not that.
I can go one by one.
It's not Massey's record. It's not that Massey himself. I have the video. I just don't want to eat up the time. Massey saying it's so very close. We don't know. I need the young people. And see, I think you have the Paul McConnell effect. Kentucky got fucking fed up because Mitch McConnell raped the state forever. Mitch McConnell says an insurrection. Massey,
I 100% agree with John McConnell.
Massey did it himself.
Total garbage.
But why do you actually harp onto it? Because go back to your words. He sent in Pete Hegseth like he's doing an invasion in Kansas. Come on. Those are dim talking points that are all over PBS and all other people.
I'm sorry that they're citing me. They're doing it for their own political purposes.
Citing you.
I was the first one to call it out that this was a Hatch Act violation, and the precedent that is setting.
Did we talk about the Hatch Act, or did we talk about the use of the words of Pete Hegseth invaded Kansas? See, you changed the topic again. That's Darbo. I talk about your use of the words that Pete Hegseth invaded Kansas, and you want to go to. He showed up at a political event, and you want to go to. It's a Hatch Act. That's how you keep on changing this stuff.
Well, I'm describing it how I view it based on my background, expertise, and you're going to describe it how you do.
Okay, so you say it's an invasion. You said earlier it's never happened before in history. What about Mike Pompeo when he went to the Republican convention?
Yeah, was he?
What about Hillary Clinton when
War?
She did the same thing?
I don't like it when executive branch, current existing, especially cabinet level executive branch members go in and tip the scales of another branch of government.
How is it tip the scales when Massey
the only carve-outs are the president and vice president?
How is it when Massey admits, I can play the video, it's going to be close. It's close in every poll. Doesn't matter what poll you're hearing. We got to get younger. If I can get the younger ones, I'm going to do it. But then you say President Trump tipped the scale with Hegseth. Why do you even
President
use that
Trump
word,
can do that.
those words?
And Vice President also can do that because there's a carve out in the Hatch Act. The Hatch Act does not apply to the president and vice president.
I'm not talking about the Hatch Act. Let me clarify again. You said that President Trump tipped the scales, basically inferring that it caused Massey to lose because of President Trump. Now, I am basically asking you, why do you use those words other than you dig Massey shit? Why do you use the same words as the Dems? I explained
to you that I do support Thomas Massey because of the reasons that I described, because they are very important to me. On the COVID issue, I would say that out of all those three, the COVID issue is most important to me because everything else was so downstream from that. Okay.
And basically with Thomas Massey bringing in, wasn't his campaign over, Ivan? Come on. Wasn't his campaign over when he loaded the room with influencers that are mega Trump haters? Didn't that tip the hat to what Massey was?
Not at all. Because those influencers, when they came in, actually forced the conversation nationally to address that and wake millions up that it was Miriam Adelson that was, and a couple others that were funding this race, that forced them to fund probably 5 to 10 times more than they would have had those influencers not showed up.
And what was, and who gave what?
No, I'm going to say again that had it not
I just want to know who exactly gave what?
Miriam Adelson.
Why are you not calling out the United States Catholic bishops that were just very close under it? So you used the term $32 million, which is incorrect.
Well, let's go into the details.
Why aren't you
I'm open
calling out
to look at some others.
Here, we go through it. Here it is. Here is, ready? You have AIPAC, which you call out and you say Adelson, which also discounts every one of the 5 million Americans that are there. You try to say this is an Israel thing. When the second group...
What about the numbers? Do you have it broken down by numbers instead of individuals?
Yeah, I do have the numbers. Hang on.
Okay, perfect.
Then you actually say it's the Christians United for Israel. They have more than AIPAC. They have 7 to 10 million members. You don't call them out. The next
those are
largest
members,
group,
but how many donated? Those are the numbers that are not really applicable to the bottom line number.
I'm giving you the numbers. These are all. It doesn't help to know the numbers if you don't know the scale of the organization. See, this goes back to what I'm saying.
No, I'm listening.
You call out number 10, but completely stay away from the 9 above it, which I don't understand.
How much of that does Miriam Adelson get indirectly?
How much of that does Marison get? How does she get from?
To do an audit on that.
China pay Marion? What does Japan pay Miriam? What does that have to do with the price of eggs and
how much?
China? Another thing.
No. You misunderstood me. What I'm trying to say is how much of American tax dollars that are sent over as foreign aid to Israel is then recycled through Miriam Adelson's companies to then go ahead and fund back to influence political campaigns in America.
Which Adelson, which companies?
Well, that's something that we're going to have to look into.
Well, no, you made it as if it's a statement. I'm prepared and show you the number. You made it as a statement if it's this recycling thing. See, that's
right. It's a question
that's a
because
deflection.
I don't know the answer to it.
That wasn't a question; it was a statement. It's a, you're guising it under a little
question mark. At
no,
the end
you guys it under a question mark when you're really making a statement that leads people on. That's classic Darvo. That's what I'm calling out. But see, you only call out
so I can't
AIPAC because it's Mendelsohn.
Okay.
And you don't call out the Catholics that were there that did it. You don't call out.
Well, I'm learning. I mean, you're providing me vectors
Christians,
that I haven't looked into.
Christian United for Israel is the single largest pro-Israel advocacy group in the United States, bigger than AIPAC. But yet you're calling out AIPAC and Mendelsohn, and you kind of made this together.
Adelson.
Which I'm saying here is making it play like there's this evil Jewish cabal or Zionist that President Trump, well, he said he bought my seat, that he's being manipulated. What I'm saying is...
Or blackmailed.
What I'm saying is... blackmailed. Did he get peed on?
Well, no, not that blackmail. He said himself that he didn't want the Transparency Act to be passed because it would hurt his friends. And then the next question is, which friends is it going to hurt?
You mean the Epstein class?
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Finally, you agree.
No, I don't agree at all. I'm just calling out the bullshit, dim shit talking points you do, but it's okay. And so everybody tries to spin it as AIPAC.
I like this. I want to continue this if you'll allow it.
Yeah,
but
AIPAC.
They're asking me to come on to this Twitter space finally that I agreed to, and we're about 1 hour and 20 minutes in, Jovan. And I know you want to continue. I also do want to continue.
We should unpack this. I have the numbers on the donors. It is not what people are saying, $32 million in, and it's not that. When you understand what was spent by state, and you and others are actually confusing the point, the reason the money went to Kentucky is because there were 4 fucking seats up for grabs. 4. The only one that had that. But you don't call out Texas, which actually spent 4 times the state of Kentucky.
Speaking of Texas, I support President Trump endorsing Ken Paxton. Absolutely, 100%.
I love Paxton. I love Paxton. I think Paxton's great, but that's not the point.
Fully
what I'm saying is everybody kind of focuses on this. It's the Jews in AIPAC. I've got the numbers for you. We can have another discussion. I appreciate it. Do it. I don't care if things get hotter. This is the fucking locker room. You get it out. You get it
I like
over.
it
You
because
fucking deal with it.
you have the balls to actually confront the issues. Most people are complete coward cucks.
People, yes, I agree with you 100% there. And that's why I said at the beginning, it's not that I don't appreciate you, Ivan, at all. It's exactly the opposite. You're a fucking bulldog. I appreciate that. And we should have more of these fucking discussions, all of us on every side.
Iron sharpens iron, baby.
Going on, because we got to get these numbers out and got to get people fed on them. But here's all I'm telling you. This things that like Alex Jones is doing, it's the Jews. And by the way, you're using her as a shortcut to the Jews. It's bullshit. Because here's the deal.
I judge people, individuals, based on their action. Okay.
You take Jews and Israel.
Again, she was born in Palestine.
You take Jew and Israel's. See, we're going to go back to a Roman then. Hey, Joe, the next episode we'll do a Mossad. We'll do a Masada. Is that okay? We'll do that on when it was actually called that and what it meant. It's all deflection. Stop with the fucking Darvo. Get to the point. It's all shorthanded backhand for Jews. Well, if you take Jews and Israel out of the Bible, your Catholic Bible, you've got zero words left.
Miriam Adelson has zero influence and input with President Trump. She provides zero funding.
Did I say that?
Any of the organizations?
No, I'll tell you how it works.
Or any of the campaigns.
Zero. It works just like Mike Lindell and the pillow that suffocated election integrity. Make a few $1 million in donations, you're going to get an audience. A few $1 million does it, much less 250,000. Call it what it is. Call it for every one of them that drop dollars, and those dollars get an audience. But you're being selective. Why? Because it fits with the narrative. It's the Jews. It's the Zionists. And it's all backhanded because you won't go right at it. It's all shit. It's all a lie. It's all a con. It's all psychological warfare. But this particular thing about AIPAC, I watched it start cooking 2.5 years. Everybody kind of getting their little eggs in basket. Boom, here comes the operation. You know what? I think that's intellectually dishonest. My definition of being for America is you better be red, white, and blue exactly what it is, and you shouldn't play games with politics. You shouldn't play games with word, because this is binary. Either is or it isn't. And all I'm calling you out on is I know you didn't have Ryan Matta there, and I know you don't make the list, but you didn't shut it down, right? You didn't shut it down.
My battery died on my laptop.
Okay.
I don't know what.
And that's my thing. And that's my issue, even within our own groups. We won't shut down the bullshit because it's only about elections. None of this fucking matters if we don't fix our elections. And it's the ballots, not the machines, because the machines are 100% voluntary. That's my whole issue. We all create all these little bitty things to chase squirrels, and we don't fix the one thing that we got to fix, and that fixes every bit of this. When do you want to continue?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah. When do you want to continue?
I had to go to cell phone because I don't know why, but the power going into my laptop.
So well, I can tell you why. I have a habit of sucking all the energy out of the room.
Yes. I mean, whenever you want to continue.
I think
I'm retired.
No, Ivan, we should get this out. We should go over the points. A lot more of us need.
No, because you've done the research, and I definitely want to hear the detailed analysis because I haven't gone into the CUFI and some of the other organizations.
Don't you think though that before any of us speak, we should do the research? That's
absolutely.
Point. And we're supposed to be influencers and movers, and we don't even have the facts. I think that's unforgivable because people hang on to our words. And when you isolate that thing, I hope they burn 100 million, 150 million. You're adding to the rhetoric because you are a leader. You're adding to the rhetoric. But I do hope they do.
Because then it makes the point even further.
It's not a point.
That it's an important race.
It's a bullshit deflection. It's a bullshit to look bad on President Trump. It's a bullshit to look bad on our Christian nation. There's more Christians to support the Jewish stuff than that. But you make it the Jews. You are a smart fellow. You know exactly what this is connecting to. And that's what I'm calling out because I know you're not naive. You're very measured. You choose your words right. I understand what you're doing, and I understand the deflection. It is about the Jews, and I resent that. But you know what? It's First Amendment. You can say, fucking hate the Jews, and it's okay. I'm just calling you out on it because I think before all faiths, all religions, all parties and everything else, it's whether America survives or dies. And we better figure out how to get our shit together. And stop with the petty shit. Stop with the little shit. And that's why I finally had a fuck enough, because people listen to what you say and other people, and it must be real. It must be the Jews. I think that's rhetoric that's killing us. It's killing us.
Yeah, but I normally don't broadly say terms like that. I've never used that. I specifically remember I have a deep state target list. So my activity and my proclivity is to specifically identify individuals and their actions. Now I get it. There are 8 other billion people that act that may have influence in things. But I focus in on the ones that I see based on my analysis and based on Donald Trump's own words that have the most influence in this political conversation. And it's evident, it's clear, based on President Trump's own terms, based on his words, Speaker Johnson, Secretary Rubio's words. Why did we go to war with Iran? According to those three,
we didn't go to war with Iran.
Why did we bomb Iran?
That's a lie.
Okay,
yeah,
why did we bomb Iran?
You see the difference? One's a
because of those 3 individuals
bullshit.
Stated it was because of Israel.
Bullshit.
That's what Mike Johnson said.
Bullshit.
Marco Rubio
and you trust
Donald
Johnson
Trump
and you trust Johnson and Rubio walked it back.
Why did he walk it back?
I'll tell you why. Bottom line is
President Trump
that money coming from Iran, where Obama sent pallets of cash. That cash was specifically for terrorism, so it couldn't be tracked. That money is coming.
I agree with
Biden administration let it. Biden
adversaries
administration
ineffective, but not on behalf of another country.
Biden, it wasn't done. That's just a fucking lie. For 48 years, Iran has said death to America.
So now you're against Donald. You're against President Trump because he said it.
No, you're whacking it out of context of trying to play it out, and you know we're not at war. You absolutely 100% know we are not at war with Iran. But yet,
so maybe if that's the case, that's why Pete Hegseth had time to go ahead and violate the Hatch Act down in Kentucky.
You got another talk? Any more talking points you want to get in for the end?
No, dude, I went way over than I planned.
No, I just want to look. You got the hat. You work the Hatch in, violate the Hatch Act when it's not. I just want to give you a fair shake. Get as many in as you want. You got 60 seconds to get 2 minutes to get them all in.
It's basically like, oh wait, we're going to investigate ourselves, and we're going to make the determination that it wasn't a Hatch Act. Meanwhile, I have pictures and videos of all the personnel that were on the ground that prove otherwise.
And you're a good agent, and you do your job well. Go ahead.
So that's it.
Okay. So
that's all I got. Anyway, the last thing I'll say, June 9th is the next big race. We got to dump Lindsey Graham. Hopefully people will come out and make sure that happens. You want to dump Lindsey Graham or you want to keep him in?
Dump his ass. He should have been dumped a long time ago.
So let's lock arms and agree and let's go. Let's roll.
We just got to stop with the rhetoric. It's either survive or die, brother. We got to figure out, all of us have to figure out, come together and quit doing these little nuanced bullshit. We really do.
Okay, so my First Amendment sounds are First Amendment noises to you, and I guess we'll leave it at that.
Not noises. I just think it's a little manipulative, Ivan. I'm not saying it's noise. I'm saying you have the right. I'm saying you are adding to a rhetoric. You're adding to a rhetoric that podcasters are paid by the GOP to say to try to destroy Trump, and you're right in the middle of that. You're right.
Mine is much more nuanced, unfortunately, for most, I guess. But you get it. All right.
Okay. You look.
Since you won't let me love you, I'm going to respect you. Okay.
I respect you. I respect your First Amendment. My pushback is when, even in our own ranks, we do stuff that I know the GOP is paying to say, and I think you're riding that line, and I think you're riding that line, but you're entitled to it, and I appreciate it. I just try to get them down concise, and we'll do this again, and I appreciate you.
And I'm going to factor in all we discussed here to maybe, we'll see how things move forward.
I'll come with the receipts, and I appreciate you for at least doing it.
Okay. Thanks, brother.
Thank you. Take care. Bye. Yeah, you too. So, folks, we can all look. We can totally fucking disagree. I have no problem with that. But I totally disagree with the bullshit. Now, Ivan's going to sway. He's saying stuff the left say violated the Hatch Act, which he did not. Well, you got it in. Trump, you're going to investigate themselves. And then what does he say? Well, I got all the photos. I got all the proof. I got all that. And you wonder, doesn't that sound odd to you? Why would somebody do say, well, I got all the proof. I got all the photos. I documented it all. What? That's what I have this incongruent part with. To me, that speaks as you're trying to destroy, right? That's it. Now, I want to let you know, I have ultimate respect for Ivan at least coming on and do this. It should be able to do it. Yes, there's times when it can get a little convoluted. You got to slow down. Look, my job's to get answer for you, just to get answers for you. And I think they deserve answers. But I can't separate. Tell me if I'm wrong. I'll listen to you. Here it is. You tell me what this is about.
The Israel firsters.
This is what it looks like when we're about to watch AIPAC burn about $15 million.
Hey, keep spending. I want you to burn $100 million.
$100 million. $100 million.
You know what? Burn the next $250 million, Miriam.
And we hear that this hoodie really upsets you guys, so if you don't mind, I might throw it on for another pick. We got Shannon over here. We got Shannon.
Tell me what I'm missing. Is that not hucking it up with a fellow that basically says, well, there were more babies born in concentration camps, that Ivan calls a legend? I don't agree with that. The guy that Dara ran, please destroy Israel so neither of us have to deal again. That topic was Israel. How do you I can't separate this stuff. Am I missing it here? Tell me. Call me fucking out in chat if I'm missing this. What am I missing? That's as plain as day. Plain as day. Now, Ivan and everybody has the right freedom of speech, but I hold people that are supposed to be election integrity leaders to a fucking higher standard. And you don't play the fence. You don't even walk into that territory. Now, my standards are different. There'll be an event, be Dr. Frank there, and I say, sorry, I won't do your event. I'm not interested. I won't appear on the same stage. Okay, he doesn't know who's going to be there. He knows who Ryan is. And they're laughing about the American right shirt. What does the left say? What does the left say about the right? Oh, we're white supremacists. Do you know who this Ryan Matta guy is? Do you know anything about his background? Do you know he comes out of ABC? Yeah, he comes out of ABC. Nightline, 2020, Diane Sawyer, etc. Inside Edition, he was the graphics guy behind the scenes. Do you think he's a conservative America Firster? See, he's one of these people that came as an America Firster and then flipped. He's an ABC guy. Was for decade plus. Nobody talks about that. I see these things as people that are working as operatives. I question Ivan. You're doing things that Democrats say. You're repeating phrases that Democrats use. You're repeating phrases that are designed to destroy Trump. Oh, I can't help it if they quote me. Well, they're not fucking quoting you. It's the memo going around. You heard him say it. Pete Hegseth invaded. You're hearing it. I can't unhear these things. And I'm trying to figure out if these are the brothers and sisters we're all supposed to live and die by, fighting this fucking fight. How do you fight this fight and then fucking stab 50% of the country? I don't get it. I don't get why a fellow, right, that tells you, wants to convince you that the Nazis were good. The Nazis were good to, well, let me speak for himself.
They had dental facilities. They had medical facilities. And they actually kept track of the birth records. So there were actually more Jays that were born in the camps than passed away in the camps. These people weren't thrown in bunkers and infested with lice and fleas. They might have been when they came over. They're dirty people, right? Like, Do you tell me left the horde isn't covered, their heads aren't covered in fleas and gnats and whatever other dark, demonic, gross things? They don't even shower, so of course they are. They're disgusting humans, right? So to think that the ones that they were rounding up weren't that vile and disgusting back in the 1940s, of course they were, right?
Every fucking Jew hater in the world says that shit about us. And I'm calling out Ivan because I think he should be held to a higher account. He knows and knew who he was standing with.
The Israel firsters.
This is what it looks like when we're about to watch AIPAC burn about $15 million.
Hey, keep spending. I want you to burn $100 million.
$100 million. $100 million.
You know what? Burn the next $250 million, Miriam.
And we hear that this hoodie really upsets you guys, so if you don't mind, I might throw it on for another pick. We got Shannon over here. We got Shannon. Yeah, there's Shannon, Ivan.
I got to tell you, this was enough that I had it. I watch other Jewish broadcasters totally ignored from so-called conservative leaders on this only because they're Jews. Even slided in the same room. It's fucking nuts. Shouldn't we be at the top of our game, quote unquote, as influencers or whatever you want to call us, that we know who's in that room? And if you're standing there with a guy who prays for troops' deaths, wants President Trump to be embarrassed because now he's making money doing it, carrying a shirt American right, I can't account for him. That was a huck it up session. That's what I called Ivan out. You're fucking standing there hucking it up. I'm sorry. I recognize Darvo for what it is. I recognize when it's a deflection. I'm going to talk over it. I'm going to go somewhere else. The guy's, well, you're not letting me answer. Well, I asked you, why did you not correct that? Why did you not shut that shit down? Folks, am I wrong? And it's okay if I'm wrong. If you think I'm wrong, come tell me where I'm wrong. I'll give you the link. I don't want to do any other promotion. I don't want to promote any letter writing campaigns or any of that shit. I want to talk about this. Am I looking at this wrong? Am I too emotional because I'm a Jew? Am I too emotional seeing this cancer of it's the Jews take over the conservative party? They will call out AIPAC because that's the design. They want to kill AIPAC. When the other larger Jewish organizations are in it, but they don't get hit because it's not a Jewish organization. It's the fucking Christian organization. They'll leave that one alone, which is bigger. What am I missing? Sorry, my nose is fucking running. What am I missing? What am I missing? I watch this shit go on all the time. I watch even people that are supposed to be thought fucking leaders not doing their fucking homework. This one got me. I'll admit it. I'm not afraid to admit it. This one fucking got me. Because I just think it's enough. Because let me tell you why. There's only one goal. And it's the Jews, it's the Jews, it's the Jews. If you cleave from the Jews in Israel, there is no more Christianity. That's identical to what the Muslims want. That is where the money's being spent. It's a push-pull. You're getting it from the Muslim side. You're getting it from the atheist, LGBT flip-out side. And now you're getting it from the right. Well, it's the Jews going on it. It is by design to upend our Judeo-Christian nation. Because they are taking people that know nothing about the basic foundation of our country and what makes it work. It is that Judeo-Christian blend. Judeo-Christian blend. And without that, it doesn't work. Our founding fathers knew that. And these people claim, oh, I'm a patriot and founding fathers. Patriot's overused. This is about ending our Christian nation. Liberty Mob, not yet, because I've still got a lot left for you that you haven't accepted yet. So I'm not filled yet. But that's it. Did I act irrational? I acted angry, but did I act irrational? I can play the game too, throw out completely unrelated shit. Help me understand this. I don't have a lot of respect for this stuff. I watched a lot of these theories about we got to decertify the election. There's no path, never was, to decertify the election. But look how many people amplified that. In Arizona, where we should be talking about the paper, it's about the machines, Chinese parts, Chinese this, Chinese that, sitting with a whole fucking bunch of people there in Arizona who didn't even open the evidence files and don't care, but raised a shitload of money of it. We're at a critical junction. This can't be about clicks anymore. This has got to be exactly about the facts. That's it. Exactly about the facts. No, I'm still not getting your emails, and you know it. And it hurts. And what I'm trying to do is foster discussing about the things we disagree on. Right? And just having it out. I have far more respect for Ivan of him coming on and facing and doing it. I don't like the little jabs and stuff. That's bullshit. But he's trained to do that. I don't like the Darvo, but he's an intelligence officer trained to do that. But at some point in time, I just think we all have to get down at facts. And we can't amplify, oh, it's the machines and look at these swap votes. Well, which one for the team? It's all election integrity. No, it's not. No, it is not. Ivan has total right to support who he wants to support. And I respect that. But I think you kind of also saw there might not have been a lot of facts backed up of who Massey really was and whatever. And I think the one stat, when somebody calls in Holocaust deniers, it's the Jews, they're dirty people, right? And Ivan, this was it, Ivan says, legend. And this guy prays for the death of Israel, prays for the death of our troops. Here you go, look right there. Wears his swastika under his microphone, does his American right as they huck it up about it. But Trump put his finger on the election? No. Here's the real thing. When you look at the individual contributions, 4% of Massey's support actually came from his fucking state. 4%. Yes, everybody could say, well, I'm just getting the dialogue. I'm just getting the dialogue out there. No, you're setting a narrative. You're not getting the dialogue. Nobody's talking about this. Nobody's confronting this. What does he think? Well, I just put the bait out there and people talk about it at home? Bullshit. We have to call out the people saying it and fostering it. And we got to have it out. That's what changes the dialogue. Oh, that's where somebody's making a joke and Rumble. That's, what they call a nympho with a runny nose. Full. Folks, it's always a battle every day. And all I did was brought something that was behind the scenes. And with this, I brought it to the forefront. God bless Ivan for serving this country. But Ivan's a political operative. And I think when it comes to election integrity, which he allows himself to be in, we have no room for a political operative. Which is, why Scott Presler, a political operative, paid to say what he said. He has to be able to say what it is. And I just can't live with myself if I don't start calling some of these things out. I asked these people, why do you think it's the Jews? And what is this? And I watched this play back to me. And I watch people who have influence playing back to me shit they learned from like Ryan Matta and other podcasters that they think is news and facts. And they repeat them as news and fact. I just think that's unforgivable. But he has a right to support Massey. I support that all day long. He has the right to say fuck Donald Trump if he hates Donald Trump. He's just not brave enough to come out and do it. And that's okay too. But the people spoke. And you got to understand why Kentucky was so critical. 4 seats in that one place. That's why it was critical. But they try to make it out of Massey. Look, the Kentucky people spoke about what they believe about Massey. And that's why only 4% of the money, right, came from it. Okay, I understand you're saying, well, the American people are tired of foreign money coming into our government. The first thing you should be tired of is our money going out to foreign governments. Secondly, it's as plain as day to me. Liberty Mom, I'm going to hold you to that. Look, here's the lobbying. Here it is. This is the lobbying dollars. Right there. So why is the dialogue Israel? I'm going to tell you why. Because they want to conveniently avoid all this other shit so they can make Israel a bad guy in any way possible. Yes, I think there should be no money from outside countries in the U.S., but that's not the point. Don't know how to stop it. So if I can't wave my wand and stop it, I can at least be realistic about it. Why is the dialogue about number 10? Of all of them. Qatar, where the fucking he wants to say Palestine. You know exactly where Ivan comes down on if he wants to keep on calling it Palestine. But he knows the word. He calls it Palestine. Territory. Qatar is where all the guys that were ripping the money off of the Strip and Gaza and stuff, and the Palestinians, that's where they hide their money and did it. Is anybody calling that out? Think about that. Why is it just isolated to number 10? Then they try to change the dialogue. Ivan's dialogue was about President Trump, Pete Hegseth, turning the scales. No, here's the people of Kentucky. There's your answer. Even Kentucky didn't support him financially. That's also why he lost people. And they won't talk about when it came to all the states. There were 4 key in Kentucky. It had the most. Now, when you see what it affected, Texas, which was actually 127 million, they spent 95 million on the Senate alone. But they had 30 highly contested seats. But they won't talk about that. Why? Because they need, what if they told people, here's the messaging. Trump's bad. Trump's owned by Israel. Trump doesn't follow the Constitution. Trump took us to war. Here's a soldier. I call him out. He didn't take us to war. So why are they focusing on it? Because it's a lie in Kentucky, but Massey has a following that believes that shit. So they're using it to stoke a narrative. They're using it to stoke a narrative. That's what I'm calling out. Do you get it? This is all about the narrative. And that's it. And that's what upsets me. And I hold everybody in my particular category who fancies themselves an election integrity expert to a higher standard. And you better be intellectually honest enough to understand none of us can afford to hop on the rhetoric. You want to stop all these fucking donations? Not a problem. Fix the ballot. It's easy. But nobody talks about the ballot, do they? But they'll talk all fucking day about the machines because they're voluntary. I can't cotton to that. It's just my allergies kicking my ass. Other than the fact, fucking my day got eat up with this shit, and I got to fucking run 8.5 billion people we got to control out there. Do you know how taxing that is? I can't be non-emotional about this one. I can't. But I God bless Ivan for coming on, and we'll do it again, and it's okay. We should have these discussions. Because who better to learn from the very people that are supposed to be teaching you if they can't get it right? I'm going to try to feel better. Yeah, my allergies only complicated it. Okay. We'll do an Ask Me Anything in the morning. Y'all think about it. We'll just do kind of an Ask Me Anything. I'm going to go have a bee's knees, which is gin and tonic with honey. That's what I'm going to go have. Okay? I'll toast you. Thank you for being here. Have a great evening. I'm only joking on that one. Love you all. Take care. Bye. Oh, wait. We got to play our anthem, don't we? Get your boogie on.
Rennie Good was a gifted soul, a writer and a poet and a mother. Wow, she tried to hit an agent with her car. Oh no, pop motherfucker, now she's gone. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Being a fucking liberal is a mental disease. Blue-haired and fuckables with the septum ring. You are not a hero, you're a fucking disease. You fuck around and find out it's what it
have the #1 runaway bestseller as part of your homesteading library? Introducing the Food Forest Bible, How to Create a Food Forest, Sustainable, Self-Managing, Natural Food Production for Self-Sufficiency and Food Security. We all know the system is broken, but food, sovereignty, and survival are up to you. Will you comply or defy their plan for us all? You will own nothing, eat bugs, and be happy, or so the system says. Is this why America's largest food processing plants and food supply plants keep burning down? Do you really think this is a coincidence? Of course not. The system is telling us right to our faces what they have planned for us. You have a choice. Comply or simply defy their plan for us all. Defy the system's plan and execute your own plan. Abundant, safe, secure, natural food supply. Introducing the Food Forest Bible, this bestseller by Jovan Hutton Pulitzer is the single most complete, executable, easy-to-follow plan for sustainable, self-managing food production for self-sufficiency and food security. For the first time ever, a coffee table, heirloom quality, full-color book which unlocks the ancient secrets of creating a food forest. Imagine planting in a way which requires no digging, no pesticides, and creates massive ancient food abundance. No fooling. Food forests are the ancient secret to planning and planting once, and have your own Garden of Eden, which will feed your family for decade after decades. Buck the system. Buck the New World Order and order your very own copy of Jovan Hutton Pulitzer's Food Forest Bible. Learn how to create a sustainable, self-managing, natural food production for self-sufficiency and food security for your family. Side yard, small yard, backyard, backlot, or even lots of acres. The Food Forest Bible works for everyone. Order on Amazon, hardcover, or softcover. Buck the system. Don't comply. Expertly defy the system. Get your copy of the runaway bestseller, The Food Forest Bible, How to Create a Food Forest, Sustainable, Self-Managing, Natural Food Production for Self-Sufficiency and Food Security. Now.